Up, everybody? Yo, yo. Hope everybody's having a massive week. Jordan Lowry,
Yo, yo,
share some words of wisdom, brother, to kick us off here. I
words
know
of
I'm
wisdom.
calling you out of the blue.
Yeah, no lie. Words of wisdom, boys, is just and girls is just freaking be a master connector in this business, right? You're gonna learn from people who are better than you at certain things and not as good at other things, and just be a master connector. The thing I took out of the training this morning was it's not knowledge about what you know, it's knowledge applied. And so make sure that you understand that you can learn something from everyone else in this business. Whether an agent's been here a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but they do something well that you don't do, just be a master connector and always try to get better. So I freaking am fired up. I can't wait to hear Damon just bring some juice.
Let's go. Let's go. With that being said, Claudia, could you pin our guest? And guys, we had an absolutely great training this morning. We had one of my mentors, Nick Long from California. He came into the office and Nick Long shared his story where, and this is actually will go really well into the team call topic today. This little segment really well where Nick Long came in and by 22 years old was worth over $1 million. By 30 was worth multiple millions. By age 39, he was worth $50 million.
$50 million.
And then by age 40, he had a negative $2 million net worth. And he completely lost it all and then rebuilt it from the ground up. And the main takeaway that I took away from that was some of you are in the beginning phase of your business where you think, I just need to make money, I just need to make money, I just need to make money. Yes, that is true. The hardest part's not making money. The hardest part is becoming somebody capable of making that money. And that is why your personal development, your income will never exceed your level of personal development. So I'm really excited for this team call because Damon is somebody that came in. Damon, what'd you do your first month?
I think like 43 or submitted or issued.
Submitted
I think 63,
63. What'd you issue?
43, 44.
Yeah. So issue paid 43K his first month in the business. And the reason that he was able to do that was because he put so much work in developing himself and developing the proper mindset beforehand and building the proper tools. So when he came into the vehicle, well, at that point, it just came down to simply executing. And it was the same thing for myself. If I would have gotten into the life insurance industry just a year prior, I would not have made it because I did not have the level of discipline, work ethic, and tenacity that it took to be successful. So, guys, without further ado, drop an emoji in the chat if you're excited to learn from Damon. Damon, what are you at for the year so far?
I think right now, according to score, we're at like 540 issue.
540.
Yeah.
Guys, Damon has already written halfway into the year just as much life insurance that I wrote for the entire year, my first year in the business. So talk to us first of all about your mindset coming into this business and what allowed you to produce on such a high level day one.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy. I don't know about y'all, but I love money. Um, the root of all evil is not money, it's the love of money. But when I came into this business, I made a decision. I came from door to door, which, taught me tenacity, resilience, like headstrong, how to be headstrong. So when I came into this business right away, I said, okay, and what they teach in the training calls, which if you skip those, I don't know what you're doing, that it takes 100 presentations to become proficient in the business. And for me, what that meant is that I need to get to that 100th presentation as quickly as possible. Now, it didn't actually take 100. I'd say it took maybe like 30 to really have it click. But the only way that that happens is by creating a mindset for yourself of success and the need or the obsession to succeed. Right. For me, it's always been in everything that I do. Anybody, if you ever ask anybody about me, they're gonna tell you, "Oh, Damon's just different. Everything he does, he's good at. He's always the best." Well, how does that happen? And it comes from the mindset of anything that I do, I'm going to become a, can I curse on this? Yeah. I'm going to become a freaking psycho. And I'm going to become so obsessed with what I'm doing that the leaderboard, anybody, if you ever ask anybody, I don't give a fuck about the leaderboard, right? I don't care who's number one, whatever it is. Like that doesn't matter to me. However, my level of obsession put me at the top without even focusing on that because I was such a psycho about learning the ins and outs of this business, the e-applications, how to place people with the right carriers, the underwriting guide. Because I was so obsessed with that, the result was number one.
I had a guy come up to me right before the team call. He said, "Bro, my policy from 2 weeks ago got approved." And I said, "It doesn't matter. Like, that's great. But whether it got approved, declined, charged back, whatever, I'm focused on the present moment here and now. I'm focused on the families that I'm with and getting in front of the right people and solely focusing on that because I see so many people where they come in and they're just distracted by this person saying this thing and then they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off. So the similarity I've seen with every top producer in this business is their ability to focus, cut out the noise, and they're really good at saying no because they understand that in order to be great, there's only a few things that they can say yes to. So what advice would you give to the people where they just they have that anxiety because they're focused on too many things and they just need to focus on what actually matters?
I mean, the funny part about that is like, well, what are you focused on? Right? I walk around the office, I talk to people in other offices, and it's like everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to be a top producer. And then you look at their activity. Well, what are you focused on? You're focused on Instagram. You're focused on your girlfriend texting you, or your group chat with your friends. Like that's what you're focused on. If you were really focused on just this, you got to put yourself in a box. I call it jail. You got to put yourself in jail and focus on just this because anything else is not making you money. Maybe your recruiting and social media can be a part of that, right? But before we even get there, we gotta put ourselves in a box and focus on what we're doing. Focus on the dials. Focus on the leads. Focus on the underwriting, right? People ask me all the time, what's the most important part of the process? Like, how do you write so much business? I got really fucking good at the FI. The FI is where you make all your money, believe it or not. It's not showing the numbers, it's not the applications, it's not like all of that is like additional things like that gets you to that end result, but it all happens on the FI. Focus on focus on your client, right? What I'm seeing right now, especially with my guys, and we're working on it, is like nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. I had one of my agents in here this morning. He's talking to he's trying to book an appointment. Lady's like, well, what is this for? And he's like, well, have you received your policy package? Like, well, what is this for? Well, is it just you or you and a spouse in the home? Like, what that, bro, answer the question, right? Everybody's so focused on the end result as opposed to being focused on the process. It's not the destination, it's the journey, Kobe Bryant.
That's it. And I want this call to be 90% tactical. So we'll get into your sales process here in a second. But as you're saying that, it made me think about we had Gabe Anderson 2 weeks ago. He got up on the table in our morning sales training. He said, some of you don't actually want to close deals, as crazy as that sounds, because it's easier to just let the client go or not overcome that objection or just hang up the phone than it is to fully go through the process because you need to actually focus. And some of you on this call, you prepared more for your getting your insurance license than the level of preparation you're putting into your business. So Damon, I want to just dude, let's dive into your sales process. Give us the meat and bones because you have a unique approach in the sales that have heard you close. So you just want to run it like I'm a regular client from start to finish. It's been a while since we've done some role play on the call.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Call me like I'm a lead.
Hey, Jonah.
Yeah,
Hey, Jonah. How you doing? This is Damon Quiles. Just reaching out for our appointment here. I know you have spoken to my assistant. I just want to make sure, I'm on the same page as everybody. The mortgage protection, after you had that set up, did you ever receive your policy packet in the mail?
I don't believe we did. Hey
No,
guys, drop in the chat how hard you want me to make it on Damon.
it doesn't matter. We getting close. Um, okay. So it sounds like you never spoke to anybody. You don't remember anybody reaching out to you, helping you submit an application.
Now,
Okay.
what is this for?
Well, listen, Jonah, this is for the mortgage protection, the coverage that pays off the home if you became sick, disabled, or passed away. I'm sure you remember that paper that you filled out and sent back in.
Is
Now,
this life insurance?
life insurance, why do you
Yeah,
have some?
yeah, I already have that.
Okay, perfect. A lot of people utilize their life insurance to act as their mortgage protection. So we'll just take a look at it here. Now, Jonah, is it just you in the home or you and a spouse there?
It's me and a spouse.
You and a spouse? Okay, perfect. Now, are you the one that makes all the decisions in the home, or is that something that you got to run by your wife? I don't want to put you in the doghouse here.
I make all the decisions.
You make all the decisions. All right. She is in the background though. She can hear me.
Yeah, she can hear.
Okay, cool. Just make sure she knows that if she has any questions, to please speak up. All right. And if Jonah, you try to cut her off, I'm going to let you know we got to give her time to speak. Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Now, the mortgage protection, all right, or let's start with a nice foundation for you. Are you familiar with how mortgage protection works?
Pays off my home if I die, right?
As well as if you became sick or disabled. All right, this is not, that old life insurance that grandma and grandpa used to have where you only see the benefit if you pass away. Just like your iPhone or Android comes out with a new model every year, same thing in insurance. All right, they've learned that a lot more people have afflictions on the living side as opposed to just the death side. So it's going to cover that as well. Now, anytime somebody buys a home, refinances, or secures a home equity line of credit, there's always going to be three types of insurance that are tied to the home. All right, the first one's going to be your PMI or your private mortgage insurance. You familiar with that, or have you seen it on your loan statements?
No idea.
Okay, it's actually insurance that you're paying to protect the bank. All right, if you ever check your loan statement, it'll be on there as long as you put down less than 20%, which is what most people do. But I'm not doing this. I do investment properties. I pay PMI on all of them. All right, you have your homeowner's insurance. I'm sure you know what that is.
Yep.
All right, protects the home, flood, fire, etc. And then you have the mortgage protection. All right, now your mortgage protection is going to be the most important. And that's because that's the only one that protects you. All right, again, if you became sick or disabled, it's going to supplement your income or cover medical expenses, as well as, God forbid, if you were to pass away, it's going to take care of the entirety, if not a portion of the loan for your family. So they're not stuck holding the bag when you don't make it home. Does that kind of make sense, Jonah?
That makes sense.
All right.
Okay.
Now, it is all based off of age and medical history. So, how today will work is we'll take a couple minutes here. Number one, just kind of figure out what kind of coverage you may even need. All right. We'll go through some medical questions. That'll be to make sure I'm placing you with the right carrier as well as putting you in the right rate class.
Yeah,
And then
before we go through all that, can I just get a quote?
Jonah, I'm not the quote guy. So, before we go through all that, all right,
So I'm not gonna know how much it is.
well, Jonah, we're going to go over the budget. All
Okay.
right. I could tell you it's $1,000 or I could tell you it's $1. It doesn't matter if you can't afford it. All right. So the most important part of this is your budget. We're
Well,
going to make sure that
I'll tell you if I can afford it.
what do you call it? Say it again. You going to tell me if you can afford it?
Yeah.
That's fair, Jonah. I'll also tell you if you qualify. All right. Now, as long as we find something that meets your needs, is comfortable and affordable, all right, all we'll do today is submit an application for approval. As long as the carrier likes you for the coverage, all right, they're going to issue you a policy packet, which is the same time that they're going to draft your initial premium. All right. And then we'll be able to move forward with the coverage from there. Jonah, I just want to make sure I have your first name spelled correctly. Jonah.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Last name Lewis, Lewis.
Yep.
Are you any relation to Ray or
Nope. No
no?
relation.
All right, all
Not
Uh,
even the same race.
now, Jonah, how old are you currently?
26 years old.
26, and your date of birth?
10/26/99.
No way. 10/26/99.
Yep.
That's when my gold was born. That's
Let's go.
crazy. You currently smoking or using any nicotine products?
Nope.
No? All right. How tall are you?
How tall am I?
Yeah.
5'6", 165.
5'6", maybe like 6 foot on a good day.
Yeah, when I'm
Okay.
feeling it.
Throw the Timberland boots on. Now,
Yep.
Jonah, in the past 20 years, this will be going back to about 2006. In the past 20 years, have you had any sort of major surgeries?
Nope.
No? Okay. I'm going to list off a couple medical conditions here. You just let me know if any of these apply to you. All right. I have heart attack, stroke, or TIA, which is like a mini stroke.
Nope.
Any cancer, stents, or diabetes?
Nope.
All right. Any neuropathy or high blood pressure?
Nope.
Jonah, let me stop you right there. Are you taking any prescription medications currently?
Nope.
All right. So I'm going to save us both some time here. I'm going to give you like the expedited version. But I do just have to ask, is there any prescriptions that you've been prescribed that maybe you're just not taking anymore?
Nope.
All right. And, God forbid, Jonah, like I said, if you didn't make it home, I'm going to assume Claudia, your wife, is who you would want me to make sure the carrier mails the check to. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and hopefully get a chance to protect her here today. Now, Jonah, as far as like the income coming into the home, all right, you specifically, how much are you bringing in each month? We'll say after taxes.
About 5,000.
5,000. Okay. And does Claudia have any income coming in, or you're the sole provider?
Yeah, she is. She's a school teacher.
She's a school teacher. All right. Rough idea. How much is she bringing in each month?
She's bringing out about a 4.
All right. So you guys have very similar incomes here. All
Yep.
right. Looks like when you had originally gotten a loan for the home, it was in the amount of about 897,000. Do you know what the balance is on that currently?
Right now it's at 830.
830. All right, perfect. And what are you guys paying monthly on that?
So right now we pay about 6,000 a month.
6,000 a month. I'm gonna assume it's a 30-year term like most people.
Yep.
Perfect. And then at the end of the month, right, after all the expenses, the mortgage, the bills, the groceries, the Netflix, the Amazons, after everything is paid, how much do you guys typically have left to save at the end of each month?
Nothing.
$0.
0.
Sounds like my house. All
Yeah.
right.
I don't know if we can afford this.
Okay. Well, that's what we're here to figure out. All right. Do you guys have any sort of like life insurance in place currently?
Yep. I got a State Farm.
State Farm, perfect. State Farm's a great company. Do you know the face amount of that policy?
I'd have to check.
Okay, go ahead and check that. I'll wait.
All right. It's 100,000.
100,000, perfect. And do you know what the monthly premium is on that?
$30 a month.
$30 a month, perfect. And is that the only policy that you guys hold currently
Yeah. And then I got one through my bank.
through your bank?
I think I might already have this.
Okay. Which carrier do you have it through with your bank?
I don't know what carrier it is, but it's I think it's about 500,000, paying about
500,000?
$20 a month for.
20 bucks?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. You guys got a good deal. All
Yeah.
right. Are you not familiar with what carrier that is? You haven't seen that like on your bank statements, or you don't know who's charging you?
Nope.
Okay. Do me a favor, Jonah. You have like mobile banking on your app or on your phone?
I do.
All right. Go ahead and pull that up for me. You should say the name of the carrier next to the charge each month.
Okay. I got it here.
Go ahead. Who is it?
It says Mutual of Omaha.
Mutual of Omaha.
Yep.
All right. So you got 500,000 for 20 bucks through Mutual of Omaha.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to assume it's probably like a term policy.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Do you remember when you had that set up, if they told you it was like 15 years, 20 years, 30-year term?
It was a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been something about accidental.
Accidental?
Yeah.
You mean like if you slip and fall, or like if you got in a car accident?
I mean, I think it covers everything.
You think it covers everything?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Well, Jonah, I don't know about you. I'm not a gambling man. I don't want to think that anything does anything. I want to know. Right. And I don't know if you're familiar, but that accidental policy, if you passed away from anything medical, it's not going to pay out. Right? In
Mm.
fact, we see accidental policies pay out less than 0.03% of the time. Truthfully, the only time I'd recommend one for somebody is if you were like a truck driver or you worked in an oil field. What do you do for work, Jonah?
I'm a plumber.
You're a plumber. All right. It's a dangerous job. Don't get me wrong. A lot of snakes, but I mean, you're not going to die in a car accident. All right. We want to make sure that the home is covered for you. So that's what we're going to take a look at here today. Now, not that those are bad policies. You did the right thing. All right. I also like to say that nobody ever does anything malicious, but we'll just call it lack of information or lack of knowledge. So what we'll do is we'll make sure we'll get something set up for you here today, hopefully, that we can qualify for. All right. That's not only going to take care of you, but it's also going to take care of Claudia if you don't make it home. Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
All right, perfect. You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why you saying
Keep
like
running.
why you
Gotta
saying like
close
you
me
were
down.
sad? You're really thinking about not coming home. Like, all right, Jonah. So if I'm taking a look at the situation here, all right, we have a current balance on the home of 832. All right. Now let me ask you, I mean, God forbid, but if something were to happen to you, do you think Claudia would plan on staying in the home or selling the home? What does that situation look like?
I have no idea. You should probably sell it.
She'd probably
Probably get
sell
it.
it.
Yeah.
All right. It's nothing that you guys have ever talked about.
Well, she wants a house out in the country, so she'd probably move out of town if I croak.
To move out of town, maybe back with family or
Yeah, buy some land.
buy some land. Okay, what do you think she would do with the land?
Shoot if I know. I won't be here.
Build a home, maybe start a farm. Does she like chickens?
She does like chickens.
Like
She likes
chicken. All right.
chickens. She likes dogs. Probably get another puppy. Maybe get a cow.
I mean, it sounds like she'll not be living a great life because she's missing you, but doing things that she enjoys.
Definitely. She wouldn't be
Okay.
doing too bad.
All right. Well, then what we'll do today is make sure that we cover the entire home for her. All right. So that way, when she's missing the biggest part of her life, which is you, all right, she's able to fill that hole with the things that she loves, the chickens, the donkeys, the cows, whatever it is. So does that sound okay?
That sounds about right.
Okay. So what we'll look at for you is something that's going to cover the entire balance. All right. For those 30 years. All
Okay.
right. So that way, if anything were to happen, the home's paid off for her. Now, Jonah, I do have to ask, all right, because you're young, you're healthy. All right, you got a great build, no medications. I mean, statistically, what we see is that you're a lot more likely to have something happen to you on the living side, right? That you don't pass away from before you have something that you ever do. God forbid the income stop today, right? How many months of the bills do you currently have saved up?
We've got 3 months of bills saved up.
3 months. All right. So if work stopped today, you got 3 months left to stay in the home. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what we're going to do is not only cover the home, we're also going to replace your income. All right. Because this is going to have full living benefits, critic, chronic, terminal illness, as well as disability.
Okay.
All right. The income stops. You know that you have a bucket that you can pull from to replace that income.
Okay.
All right. So as well as covering the home, what we're going to do is make sure we're covering, a year, 2 years, maybe even 3 years worth of your income. All right. To make sure that not only Claudia is taken care of when you pass away, but also that you're taken care of, God forbid, work stop tomorrow. Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right, Jonah, I'm going to take all this information. I'm going to run it through my system. It's going to put it through all of the carriers that offer the coverage in the state of Florida. All right, what I'm looking for is the carrier that's going to give us the most amount of coverage for the smallest premium. All right, Jonah, I'll be honest with you. It doesn't matter to me if you go big, small, or in the middle. All right, I just want to make sure that you have peace of mind knowing, God forbid, something were to happen, the family is taken care of. All right, so give me about 2 to 3 minutes here. I'm going to get those numbers together for us. We'll go through them. We'll pick the one that makes the most sense for you. And then again, all we'll do is submit that application to make sure we can get you qualified. Now, before I do that, Jonah, do you have any questions for me?
Nope. I'm just curious to see what the quotes are.
Sounds good. Do me a favor. While I put you on hold here, the only homework I have is for you to just grab a pen and paper because I am going to have you write down this stuff when I get back on the line here. All right.
Got it. Okay.
One moment.
Boom.
That's it. That's it.
Close me down, dog.
Are you want me to close you too?
Gotta finish this.
All right, dog. I'm expecting a big bonus. Big prosper bonus here.
Sharing all the sauce.
All right, Jonah. Let's see. I'll do the quick math. All right, Jonah. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
All right, perfect. So I know you had a couple policies in place currently. Again, our main focus is making sure that you're covered fully, not just partially. All right, State Farm, really good at auto insurance, really good at home insurance. They offer life insurance. All right, but my dad used to say, jack of all trades, master of none. All right, so anytime we hold our life insurance with a company, we want to make sure it's with a company that specializes in it. All right, so the name of the carrier we're going to be looking at for you today is Foresters Financial, not Mutual of Omaha. All right, Jonah. So on that paper, and again, before we get into these options, just want to reiterate, not only is this policy going to pay off the home if you pass away, all right, it's going to have full living benefits that'll protect you on the living side, a death benefit that'll pay out the Claudia if you pass away. All right. And the last thing this policy is going to do is give you peace of mind.
Okay.
All right. So on that paper, go ahead and write down silver, gold, and platinum for me.
Got it.
All right. So your silver option is going to cover 100% of the mortgage. All right. For that, you're going to be setting aside $872 each month.
Okay.
All right. Your gold option, which is the state recommended, is going to cover 100% of the mortgage as well as a full year's worth of your income.
Got it.
All right. For that, you're going to be setting aside $1,200.
Okay.
All right. And then your platinum option here is going to cover 100% of the mortgage, 2 years of your income. And for that, you're going to be setting aside 15.
Okay.
All right, Jonah, taking a look at these three options here. Which one do you think makes the most sense for you?
Well, this is a lot more money than my $20 life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring these to my State Farm agent, and I'm gonna kind of compare the numbers and see what he has to offer before I make a decision.
Yeah, I would expect you to. Jonah, let me ask you, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time now. You know, one thing I learned in this business is that good insurance isn't cheap and cheap insurance isn't good. All right. The policy that you have with State Farm, that was that 500,000, right?
It was the 100,000.
It was the 100,000.
Yep.
All right. Listen, Jonah, if you want to make sure that your family never has to worry again, your wife's taken care of, your income's covered, all right? And these are the options that's going to make sense for you. If you want to work with Jake from State Farm, who's just going to put you on another policy so that he can collect the commission off that to put gas in his Corolla, I mean, be my guest. Right? Are there cheaper policies out there? Absolutely. And there's agents out there that will sell you those policies, but I won't be one of them because it doesn't meet your needs. All right. My job is to make sure that I'm solving your issue, not solving your concern about how much money we're spending each month. All right. This is what it costs to protect Claudia. If you don't come home tomorrow Claudia has a paid off home. All right. Out of these three options, Jonah, which one do you think makes the most sense for you?
Well, you make a compelling argument, Damon, and I do like you. Can you give me at least a day to pray on this and think about it?
I mean, Jonah, I got time right now. If you want to pray, do you want to lead it or should I?
Okay, you can lead it.
Okay. Well, then we'll go into a prayer. Listen, Jonah, can you have a day to think about it? Yeah, absolutely.
All right, is this your number?
Yep, this is my number.
Okay.
Jonah, before I let you go, though, I gotta ask. All right. Is it the amount of coverage that we need to think about, or is it that we need to think about whether or not we want to make sure our wife is protected? You know, help me out here. I want to think about it too. What are we thinking about?
Well, we definitely want to make sure Claudia is protected. So it really comes down to the amount of coverage.
The amount of coverage?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, Jonah, let's do this just to kind of get our foot in the door here. All right. We can always increase later on. All right. I'll give you some time to talk it over with Claudia. Talk about it with State Farm if you want to. All right. But what we'll do is we'll submit the application for the smallest option here. Make sure we can even get you approved because unless we know you're approved for the coverage, I mean, what do we really have to think about? Does that sound fair?
You know what, Damon? I like you, and I can tell you're professional, so that sounds fair. Let's
Sounds
go
good.
ahead and put it through.
All right, Jonah, I just want to confirm the spelling of your first name, Jonah.
Boom. Boom. Closed. Drop an emoji in the chat for Damon. You took value in that one. Handled that like a champ. The biggest takeaway that I took from that was your ability to hold the frame and your ability to leverage silence. And I think that's one thing that I see a lot of new agents struggle with is they just don't want to hold that frame or sit in that uncomfortable moment and they want to say something. If you can be fully comfortable in the present moment and just sit with the client and leverage that, silence is powerful. Silence is powerful. And leverage that to your advantage, dude, that's how you write business on a high level.
Be comfortable being uncomfortable because
Yes.
we're really not. I mean, we're in the AC, we're chilling, right? You may even be watching something on your computer while you're running like you're not uncomfortable. Let them be uncomfortable because it's the only time that people start making decisions.
Guys, back in the day, we'd run in homes. Jordan knows what I'm talking about. You're sitting across from John, who's 6'5", 250 pounds, and you're telling him, hey, I'm fighting for your family right now, and he's getting pissed. And you and him are going back and forth. That can get uncomfortable. This, worst case scenario, you just hang up the phone. That's not uncomfortable. So being able to maintain that frame is important. That's a big deal. What are the three biggest things that you've learned in this business that has helped you close on a higher level?
Um, that's a good question. And there's different school of thoughts on this. So I'm not saying somebody else is wrong or somebody else is right. I personally believe, and this really just comes from like my door-to-door days, rapport is crucial. And the reason I say that is because, and it's not like dumb rapport, right? It's those small little micro connections that you make throughout the conversation that are going to set you up for success down the line. And what I mean by that is you have to have some sort of comfortability. I don't even know how to say that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
client has to have some sort of sense of that because although we just got to the FI, we presented numbers, don't forget, we haven't even done the hardest part of the process, which is ask for the social, ask for the banking, right? And people buy from people that they like. Right. Like my car, for example, I could have got my car cheaper than I got it. Hated, hated the guy who gave me the lower price. The exact same car, but I hated him. Spent more because I liked the other guy. Right. The other guy, that first guy walk in, he's like barely paying attention. Yeah, oh yeah, I got that, da da da. He's like barely, yeah, it was a horrible experience. The second guy, I walk in, he's like, hey, can I get you something to drink? You hungry? All right, here, go ahead and sit down here, pull my chair out. I'm like, oh shit, I'm like I'm big deal in this dealership. Right. And I bought the car from him because I liked the experience. They have to enjoy the process to be able to get them through the hard part of the process where very rarely, and it does happen, I would say maybe one out of every 30 appointments that I run, if I get them to the e-app, out of 30, I'll have one person that gives me pushback on the social and the banking because I've created a relationship with them through the process where why wouldn't you tell that to somebody you like? Versus if they don't like you, you're going to get resistance on that all the time.
Damon, walk us through the right way to build a rapport and the wrong way.
It's not, how's the weather? It's not, oh, it's not my goldfish has the same birthday. It's not that. But what it is like it's listening, right? It's taking real things in the conversation that you're having through the FI, which is that's all the FI is. Like the information on here is important, but the FI is just a way to direct the conversation. Where if you don't know what to say, well, now you have something that'll tell you, hey, this is the next part. But it's taking that conversation and listening. Believe it or not, even Mary across the US in fucking Idaho, 87-year-old Mary, we have something in common. And it's a real thing. It doesn't have to be made up. It doesn't have to be fake. It's really there. But if you don't listen, you'll miss it. And the best part about listening is that people give you the answer. All right. I had a conversation the other day with a lady, and first it's all resistance. We get into it, start building some rapport. We start talking about her daughter. Turns out that I knew somebody that knew her daughter. All right. Now we have a real connection. And all of a sudden, she's like, the only thing I care about is that my daughter's taken care of. Well, how easy is that to close? You told me exactly what you wanted. I know her. You're going to believe that anything that I do is 100% genuine care about protecting your daughter. I know her. Right? It was the easiest close. It was all resistance. It was 100% resistance for like the first 15 minutes. That moment happened because I listened. She dropped like one little detail about like the school she had went to or something like that. Picked up on it and said, hey, connected the dots, boom. And now all of a sudden, the lady's inviting me out to her house. She wants me to come to Thanksgiving. It's a whole different conversation. But if I wasn't listening, interrupting, or just going, pushing, I would have missed it. So yeah, shut the fuck up. Listen.
You have to have genuine authenticity when you build rapport. And you've got to be fully comfortable just being yourself and genuinely looking to connect with them, because people are really good at sniffing out BS. And another thing is, a big way to build rapport, the best way to build rapport, in my opinion, is just by being a professional, being an expert in your field, knowing what you're talking about, having confidence, being able to, like Damon said, properly fill out the financial inventory, and then ask all the questions of the financial inventory, and then digging 2, 3, 4, 5 layers deeper and asking more questions and digging deep into that. Oh, your daughter's the main person you're looking to protect. Okay. Does your daughter is she still live in state with you? Is she living out of state? Okay. What has she been up to? Okay. Awesome. Is she currently, is she seeing anybody? Is she single? Okay. Does she own her own home? Is she renting? How long is she looking to stay? Like, getting into all these things and really painting that picture and getting a granular image on, okay, this is what it looks like. This is what is going to happen. That's it. That's it. What was off the top of your head? Give us one or two scenarios of some of the toughest clients that you've closed, of different frameworks that you've used or how you've positioned it in order to be able to properly help them.
I mean, you're gonna have the drivers, right? The guy who gets on the phone, I handle everything. You don't need to talk to my wife, blah blah. The power hungry losers, right? My best piece of advice is be honest. I was talking to, I think I was talking to Gabe actually about this. Out in Philly for the World Cup, which is a crazy experience. Um, this is bad. I don't know if I should actually say this. We go through the whole process. He's like, give me a quote, give me a quote. He's the quote guy. We get to the end, and I wouldn't show him the numbers. And he was like, give me the numbers, I want the numbers. So I'm not giving them to you. He said, why? I said, because I don't believe that you love your wife. And it was dead quiet.
Mm.
And he goes, well, why do you say that? I said, well, John, we've been having this whole conversation here. All you care about is the numbers. Truthfully, I think I love her more than you because all I care about is making sure she's protected. Right? You're being very vague about all the information. Like, I need to know this information so I can make sure she's protected. And then it was quiet for like another 2 minutes. And he was like, hey, can we restart? And we did. We restarted the whole FI. And I closed them. I think it was like 876 a month.
That's one thing that I want to dig deeper into that, because that's very interesting. Because I see so many agents, and I was this agent where when I first started, I was this 20-year-old kid first getting into sales, didn't have the confidence yet, so I was afraid to challenge people. And then I finally got so pissed off of not closing and being broke that I would just basically became a stone cold killer. And I would go into homes, and if they told me they needed to think about it, I would look at them in the eye and say, okay, so basically what you're telling me, John, is you don't care about your wife. And I'd just stare at them. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But the number one thing that, I would still produce. I would do 40, 50K. But what brought me from that $40,000 to producing 70, 80, $100,000 was understanding this, where everything that we say as salespeople is suspect, everything the client says is gold. It's because I would go into homes and I would argue with people and I would arm wrestle them. And I would say, you need this because this and this and this, and your wife is going to be screwed and blah, 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 blah. And I was making all factual points. It didn't matter. Once I flipped that to asking the right questions, and instead of telling them, I learned how to leverage, ask the right questions, position it, and get them to sell me and get them to tell me on why they needed it. So, Damon, I want to ask you the same question, where you're very direct, which is my style too. That's what I love. How do you be direct with people and shoot them straight without going over the edge and having them be like, all right, well, F you, and hang up the phone?
Like, listen, you can't walk up to somebody and say, hey, you don't love your wife. They'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even know you. You can only use
Some
that.
agents are going to hear that and they're going to say, oh, that's fire. They're going to go try that and they're going to get immediately hung up on.
That's why I
That's why
said
I'm
I don't
asking
even
that
know if I
question.
should say it. Yeah. The the best way I can put it is, like, in your, look at your own life. Who are the people that hold you accountable? It's your friends. All right. A real friend is going to be honest with you. A real friend is going to let you know when you're fucking up. Your friend that doesn't tell you when you're fucking up, it's not really your friend. It's
Yep.
an
Yep.
associate. So in order to be in a position to use something like that, like, there has to be some sort of relationship that was formed during the conversation. Even this guy who wasn't, giving me anything, at some point in the conversation, we connected over football. We had like a 10-minute tangent where we connected on that. Right. So I felt comfortable enough. And listen, if I lost him, I lost him. It's $10. Right. There's another lead on the sheet. There's probably another guy with the same name on the sheet. All right. If I lost him, I lost him. But there has to be some sort of connection before you start being extremely straightforward or direct with people. Otherwise, you took yourself out the game. But that's the other thing to remember is like, dog, it's just a lead. It's one lead. Depending on the lead you buy, I pay $10. It's $10. I'll be all right.
Yeah. Then we got 10, 15 minutes left for this call. So we want to make the most out of our time. I want to transition into proper systems.
Mm.
Do you dial anymore?
Oh, do I dial? Yeah, occasionally.
Occasionally.
Unfortunately, I have so many appointments because I spend money on leads that it's a rare occasion that I do get to dial, but I will dial. Absolutely.
Yep. I was on our leadership call last week and I said, guys, we have to get away from this culture of dialing is dead. Because I see some people market this business where they're like, no, you don't have to dial, and dialing's for the Stone Age and yada 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 yada. Well, the truth is, coming in is you either have time or money. So if you don't have money, you got time, and you better be dialing the phones. But I also see some people where they don't have that vision coming into this, and they think, well, I'm going to be dialing for the rest of my life, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and this is it, and I'm damned. And that's not true either. So then I want to talk about the progression that you made because you're one of the best people to speak on this, where you came in, you produced a ton of premium your first month, you immediately reinvested that in and then invested that into systems back into your business and eventually built yourself up to the point where now you really don't have to dial anymore.
I'll give you guys like 3 seconds. Can we just put some stuff in the chat here? What system do you guys think is the most important? Whether it's dialer, texter, whatever, any system you know, real quick. I'll give you guys like 5 seconds. Drop a couple in the chat here. I'm just curious where everyone's head's at. I see CRM, VA, CRM, VA. All right. Do you guys want to know the most important system? It's a VA, but it's not the texting and the dialing one. It's a back end. If I could redo the business, the first system that I would have got was a back end VA.
Yeah.
Pending requirements, lapse policies, missed payments, 100%. Right. I didn't get my first system until I think my 4th month in the business. Somebody said, "What's a VA?" Jeez, God bless you. I didn't get my first system until my 4th month. All right. And truthfully, my first system was given to me. I didn't even appreciate it. All right. I actually love dialing. You have to fall in love with the hard stuff. All right. The hardest part of what we do, which is not hard, is sitting there dialing the phone. Because what's going to happen is if you just come in and you have a VA or virtual assistant who's calling, texting, doing whatever, like, cool, that's nice. But what happens when the system goes down? Which I've seen happen multiple times since I've been here. I've been here less than a year. Then what? Let's say the CRMs, let's say go high level, shut down for 2 months. Now what? You don't even know how to do the foundation of the business. Right? That being said, well, I'm sure everyone's goal or should be at some point is recruiting and building. And well, how do you bring somebody into a business and tell them, hey, you got to sit here and dial, but you don't know how to, or you don't know how to be successful doing that? All right.
Go high level shuts down. The Philippines get hit with the tsunami and they had a power outage, which actually happened to us. Your dialer's sick. They quit. You got to find a new dialer. You got to train somebody. There's 100 things that could happen. You have to build the skill set first.
Yeah. And truthfully, it's going to make you appreciate those systems so much more. Yeah.
And you also have to have the capital to reinvest back into it.
Oh yeah, you can't be broke. Systems are expensive, or they can be.
Yeah.
They can be.
Damon, on the months that you've issued paid 100K, how much have you spent on leads?
Um, Probably like 18 to 20.
18 to 20.
Yeah.
What's your closing percentage?
92.
So you're damn good at sales.
No, I don't sell anything. All right. I'm really good at talking to people. I'm really good at listening.
Yeah, that's important. And not only that, where you are a good salesman though, and you're a closer, and you close a high level of people. But this is a comment you've made to me where you said, "Hey, I'm good, but I'm not that good. I know that if I want to produce 100, I still need to invest 20K." Is anybody on this call confused? Damon's not spending $500 a week producing the premium he's producing. He's consistently and continually investing back into his business, and that's how he's able to produce on the level he's been able to produce. That's it. That's it.
I'm gonna tell y'all the only reason that I got my first like actual VA was because I had spent so much on leads that I couldn't get through them. It's not that I wanted to take myself away from dialing. I love that shit. But I had gotten to the point where I could not scale anymore because there's literally only so many hours in the day. And I knew that if I wanted to increase my business, my production, well, I needed somebody to also work while I'm working. That's the only reason that I started getting systems because I needed another me. It wasn't because it makes the job easier or now I get to sit here on Netflix until the call comes, until the appointment time. Like that, if that's what you're thinking, like you're missing it, you're gonna be stuck at whatever issue pay you're at right now for the rest of your life. But it was just so that I could spend even more on leads and still have enough bandwidth to get through them.
You guys, I want to point this out because this is important. And some of this is gonna you all know what Damon's saying, but it's not truly resonating. So I want this to really hit home. There's a big difference between activity and productivity. Some of you are putting a lot of activity in your business, but it's not productive. I just had Nick Long in our office. We did a podcast with him. I've known Nick for a year now. I met him on Nick Alfano's ranch about a year ago. And the number one thing I've learned from Nick, very simple. He said, "Hey, what is the lowest what analyze your entire day-to-day calendar, analyze all the activities you do on a daily basis, and what are the lowest leverage activities you're doing? And just do a full audit. And can you pay somebody else to do those? Yes. Okay, then do that. And then once you take all that time off your calendar, then you level up, and then now you're doing more productive things. And then once you master those things, can you pay somebody to do that? And can you pay somebody to do that? And you keep moving up the totem pole. You keep leveling up. You keep leveling up. You keep leveling up. I love what Damon said, where what was the lowest leverage activities Damon was doing? Pending requirements. So he immediately got somebody to take care of all his pending requirements, which allowed him to put more time into dialing, more time into the phones. And then he said, "Hey, I'm spending a lot of time dialing. What's more productive than that? Presenting, having pre-booked appointments." So then he hired somebody to have pre-booked appointments and more people to present. And then he had her to dial her. And then he said, "Hey, this is going really well. So I'm going to double down on this. And I'm going to get another dialer so I can get more appointments." And that's it. And that's how the game is played. And that's how you keep leveling and continue leveling up. You're never going to build a big business being a one-man show. All right, we got 5 minutes here left of the call for some questions. How much are Oh, somebody asked a question a while back, actually in the chat, that I did want to ask you about before I forget. Walk us through how you're tying down your appointments,
Yeah, I mean, I
because
think
not only do you have a high closing percentage, but you won an award at convention. You won the Persistency Pro Award because not only do you sell a lot, but more importantly, your business sticks and your clients don't charge back.
sir, my tie down. I mean, I hear everybody's tie down. It's the same. I'll go through it, but before I do that, the only reason a tie down works is if you build rapport. You can tell them whatever you want to tell them, but if they don't like you, well, guess what? When they get the phone call from the next guy, you're gonna get a chargeback. But my tie down is, all right, Jonah, you know, you are approved for the coverage, means I become your agent for life. All right. Which means as far as the state of Florida is concerned, all right, nobody should be reaching out to you about your policy unless it's me. If anybody ever calls you claiming to be from my office, from your lender, which would be a scary thought. How could they do this for you? Or um, the carrier. All right. Again, if it's not me, hang up the phone. All right. If you're really questioning whether or not you should be talking to somebody, take their name, their number, where they're calling from, politely hang up. All right. Go ahead and send it over to me. 10 times out of 10, I'll tell you it's nobody you need to be speaking to. But if we ever need to check, feel free to do that. Otherwise, again, I do become your agent for life. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
All right, perfect. Also, make sure you have this number saved in your phone for me. This is my personal cell phone number. All right, Jonah, you can reach me 24/4. No. 20, what do I say? 22/7. All right, because Sunday mornings I'll be at church. If you call me during church, my girlfriend will kill you. I always get a laugh right there. All right. Other than that, Jonah, you can reach me anytime. I always say text first, just in case I'm on another appointment with another family. If I ever miss the call, I will always respond. All right. But otherwise, if you need anything, make sure you let me know. Jonah, last thing here, I do just need you to make sure that Claudia also has my number saved. Because if something were to happen to you, she needs to know how to get in contact with me. And that's it.
Boom. Guys, in closing, Damon, how long have you been in sales for?
I've been in sales for a long time, different types of sales. Um, I'd say, I mean, really my whole life, truthfully. Like every job that I've had was some sort of sales position. But real sales, I don't know. Like this type of sales, probably like two years.
Okay. If you guys are new and you're on this call and you're thinking, dang, Damon's really good. I wish I sounded like that. Write this down. Volume negates luck. I don't care how good or bad you are at this present moment in time. If you put a ridiculous amount of work and volume in, you will naturally become a killer and you will naturally get good. The reason Damon has built the skill set he has is simply because he's just put a shit ton of reps in and he's tried things, he's failed, he's figured out what works, and the beautiful part about sales, it doesn't matter if you've been doing it a week, a month, a year, or 10 years, it's an ongoing journey and you're always getting better. Even me myself. Dude, I'm still learning things every day. I'm humble enough to learn. I'll hear Damon say something, I'll hear another agent say something, I'm like, oh, that's fire. I never thought about that. I never said that. And all these we're constantly progressing and we're constantly getting better. So my message to all of you today is do so much work that it is completely unreasonable that you fail. Damon, give us some parting words and let's close this out.
First of all, I appreciate all y'all being here. More than happy to help. If you guys ever need anything, feel free to shoot me a text. Don't call me because I'll be on an appointment. But I'll drop my phone number in the chat here. I don't care what team you're on. All right, we're all on the same team. And I'll be more than happy to, help you guys wherever I can, advise you, whatever it may be. I'm not going to answer underwriting questions, so you can just miss me with that. But other than that,
Oh,
feel
you're
free.
up line with that one.
Yeah, can't help you. But my last thing that I'm going to leave you guys here with, all right, because it's very easy to come into this space, see people being successful, or having success, seeing people that are struggling and not knowing where you're going to end up on that spectrum. Um, the number one piece of advice that I have for you. Sorry, I'm getting like a million phone calls.
Got another appointment he's got to hop on. Got to wrap this up.
Run your own race. All right. Stop worrying about the leaderboard. Stop worrying about who's doing what or who's submitting what. Like, yeah, that's cool. The competition is cool. But if you can remove yourself from that and just focus on productivity, you're going to end up in that in that leaderboard. You're going to end up in the top 5, top 10, whatever it is. It's going to happen as a result of the production that you do, not you focusing on that and hoping that that equals. It just doesn't work that way. Put your head down, lock yourself in a box, stop talking to the guy next to you because you both just started. You both don't know shit. All right. Talk to people who can make you better. Talk to the people next to you outside of work. But while you're here, as soon as you walk through those doors, you have to lock in. This is your business. And if you treat it like the fucking playground where we're having all these side conversations and doing things that aren't making us money, that's exactly what you're going to do, is not make money.
Well said. Well said. Damon, you're the man. You're a stud. Thank you for hopping on and pouring into the team. Guys, reach out if you need anything. Let's make it a massive, massive rest of the week. God bless.